I'm Kira.
And I'm Adriella.
And we're University Recruiters at Qualtrics. Okay, so there are a few different ways that ExDM students can stand out from other business students. So first of all, you know how to analyze data and how to use that data to find experience gaps. And that's super valuable for any company. No one wants to spend time or money gathering the wrong information, especially when it can super significantly impact their position in the market and just like in the economy as well against their competitors. So our CEO Zig talks all the time about how even in this economy, companies are still buying Qualtrics licenses because it's more important now than ever that companies know what actually matters to their customers, especially because there's just such a smaller margin for error. And then also what else stands out about ExDM students, especially here at Qualtrics, is that you actually care about experiences and designing, improving experiences. And if you go on Qualtrics' website, or if you know anything about Qualtrics, that's exactly what we're about. Literally my watch band right here says design and improve. We're all about designing and improving experiences. And that is like what you are actually passionate about. And so being able to like work for a company, even if you're not like explicitly working in like employee experience or in project management or something that you're looking for as like your end goal for a job, working at a company where you believe in what their product is doing, that totally gives you a leg up. So one way that a student can sell their soft skills is by showing and not telling, right? So if you tell me that you know how to problem solve, that's great, but I don't really know what that looks like in practice. It doesn't really stick with me. If you tell me a story, you know, I was in an internship and they told us to do this really ambiguous project, and we had no like idea how to do it. But I was able to figure it out and then create a standard operating procedure document and leave that behind for the next internship. That shows me way more that you're a problem solver, that you're efficient, that you're interested in like helping and improving experiences for others. That's a great way to show and not just tell. Yeah, so especially here at Qualtrics, one really good piece of advice for getting a job is learning how to be confident, or at least becoming comfortable, like talking with other people and talking on the phone in your phone screen, right? Adriella and I are gonna be some of the first people, or our other recruiters are gonna be some of the first people to talk to you in the recruiting process. And especially for our roles, we're customer facing roles. And so if you are really nervous talking to us, if you're having a hard time like getting your thoughts out, we are trying to put you in a customer-facing role, and that doesn't give us a ton of confidence for you to like be in a customer-facing role if you're having a really hard time on the phone. Obviously, like we understand interview jitters, and we get jitters too, right? Like this is kind of an uncomfortable situation for us to be in front of a camera, but just work on like developing that, just talking on the phone, getting really comfortable, and it'll just kind of like loosen things up and make you feel more comfortable.
Yeah, kind of with that, like I specifically recruit for sales roles, so the way I think of it is like, if you can't sell yourself to me, then how would you sell a product? Or, you know, if you can't be like comfortable in these different conversations, then how can we feel confident that you'd succeed in this role?
Right.
So really like showcase the skills you have, be excited, really show who you are throughout the process, even like from day one on the recruiter phone screen.
You're thinking on your feet in the, with the customer, and you're gonna have to think on your feet during the interview process too.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have like a super formulated answer for this question of what do you need to know about the company before interviewing, but please, I beg you to just know the name of the company that you are interviewing for. We talk to so many students that are on the phone with us and they're like, oh yeah, I'd love to get a job at Qualtrics, and just random, it's like, I feel like I would only want to apply for a job at a company that I know what they're doing and I feel passionate about what they're doing. That's why I'm applying. So when I'm talking to a student who can't even remember the name of the company that they're applying for, even if they've applied for a lot of different roles or a lot of different companies, like, I don't know, just automatic turn off for me.
Yeah, I think especially when interviewing, like it's about finding that right fit, right, for you and for the company. So like, is this company I can see myself succeeding in the product, in the culture, and who they stand for. So really, I think that background and what their name is, but also who they are, is like so important. So you could see, would I really thrive at this company, and the connections I would make, would they be valuable for me? So for me, what really stands out on a resume is seeing numbers and specific examples of what you've done. You know, seeing that you did a project that increased customer satisfaction, like, doesn't really help me understand your impact. But seeing that you did a project for 1,500 people that increased customer satisfaction by 23% really helps me understand your performance and really your impact in that role overall. So the main interview mistake I see is really students selling themselves short. You know, for the role that you're applying for, you might not have experience that's exactly like verbatim what the role is doing. But I'm sure that you have experience either from your past roles, from projects in school, definitely transferable skills that would set you up for success in that next role. So be confident about the work that you've done, and also how much you're set up for success in this new job because of your experiences that you've had.
Yeah, and in that same vein, think about like the company that you're applying for, and how you can tailor the questions that you're answering, or your resume to that role and to that company specifically. So if you're applying for a job at Qualtrics, tell us that you've used Qualtrics before. Put that on your resume. If it's not on your resume, at least tell us in the phone screen stage, right? If you're applying for the product specialist role and you have experience like talking to customers on the phone, tell us. Put it on your resume. And even if you have like more important accomplishments to put on your resume, that's a skill that we're specifically looking for in our role, and it's going to be really helpful for us to know that.
Yeah, I remember being in the business school, people always said, you know, like, tailor each application and your resume to that position. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so much work. Like, I don't want to do that. But no, that really makes a big difference, because there's certain like qualities in our role that we're probably looking for. And if we think, oh, this person, like, I'm just not sure if they have those things, and how do we know that you're going to be a good fit? Like, you have to prove it to us in your resume and these conversations, that we can really know that it's going to be that good fit for both of us.
You don't have to change everything all the time, right? Just a couple of extra words in there could really make a difference.
Yeah. So I think that the best way to learn about a company's culture is to speak with people who aren't actively part of the recruiting process. You know, this could be someone who was in your ExDM class in college and now they're at that company you want to go with, or just someone that you network with on LinkedIn. But really being able to get their perspective on, you know, the role, on opportunities in the role, on overall the company and the cultural overall, and if they're set up for success with that company, I think is so important to get it from someone who is almost like untouched in the recruiting process. And if you like have that special connection with that person, then that's even better.
I mean, another way just at Qualtrics that is obviously like very high touch on Qualtrics and their branding is just to go to our Qualtrics Life page, and you'll get to read a bunch of like why Qualtrics stories and see a lot of different like cultural elements of our company.
When meeting with students at recruiting events, I think it's super helpful, at least for us as recruiters, if you kind of fill us into, you know, your interests are, whether that be like in your daily life and things that you like, so we can kind of get who you are there, and also things that you're interested in for your future. You know, if you have this like idea of where you want to be, even if you don't see yourself there in like next, or maybe in like 5 years, or kind of however along the path, it really helps us to tailor different roles that we have here at Qualtrics to where that could fit in your long-term plan.
I think something else that's important is just to be like open-minded, because every company has different names for the same role, or may not have the role that you're looking for directly out of school, and it might take a couple of extra steps to get there. So being open to exploring like other roles than the ones that you've just had your eyes on the whole time. Obviously it's great to like have a mission and a goal and know what you want, but being open to like other ideas and ways that are going to get you to that project manager stage, that's going to be really helpful, and leave a better taste in the mouth of your recruiters. In terms of like, do I need to have a resume, or there's specific things that I need to have to know about the company? Honestly, we've been in so many different situations with different types of students. A lot of them don't know anything about Qualtrics, and so we're really used to kind of like giving that spiel, letting them know. If you want to give us your resume, that's great. We love having them. And just on the note of resumes, Some things that are really helpful for us as recruiters and don't always make it on the cut on a resume are GPA and then graduation date. So it's really helpful for us to know if you've graduated from the ExDM program in April 2022 or if you've graduated from the ExDM program in December of 2014. Like, that's going to put you in a completely different role, that grad date. So really helpful to have the grad date on there.
Yeah, I think at a career fair, it's definitely a conversation where, you know, we don't always expect you to know everything about us, know who we are, what roles we have, but it's just kind of fun to talk and for us to get to know you and you know us as well, whether that's us telling you more about the company or about our opportunities, and really kind of keeping those in mind, how that could work into your like long-term path. I think there are two best ways to connect with network and employers. I think first that comes to mind for me is when employers are on campus. You know, meeting you in person is golden. Like, talking to people on the phone is like so awesome, but really making that in-person connection like makes a complete difference. Because as recruiters, like, we fight for our candidates. We like really love our candidates. And so just to have that special like meeting with you and get to know you a little bit better, definitely I think kind of makes the difference for the recruiter to be on your side. I think another great way to network is through LinkedIn. You know, there's probably like very few times that people are going to be as likely to respond to you on LinkedIn or want to give you their time or resources than where you're in college and you're still learning, you're a student. So having those info calls, meeting with people who are in positions that you want to be in, and companies that you think that you could see yourself succeeding in, or, you know, even want to learn if you could succeed in, I think are perfect to get those initial ways, even early on, to connect yourself so that down the line you can tell that same person like, hey, I'm graduating, I'm looking for a job, like, do you have any opportunities that you think could be a good fit? Because you already have that relationship with that person.
I think another really important thing to remember is that as recruiters, we are here to advocate for you.
Yeah.
It is not our job to gatekeep. It is our job to understand, learn who you are, and help place you in the best place within the company. Or, you know, a rejection isn't always like, you stink, right? It's like, hey, this is what we know the qualifications are for our role. This is what we know that you're capable of. And this just isn't the best fit for you. And it's really like just about protecting you as it is about protecting the company. But we're here to help you. So don't hide information from us. Tell us the whole truth. And we're gonna help advocate for you. We're here to be your friend and help you out in the process.
Yeah, your recruiters are definitely great people to have on your side. Like Kira said, we're here to help.